What can you tell of the day that stones from the sky fell, destroying an army determined to break the house of Allah?
Thank you for attending today's hustings, and in particular for three candidates from the far end of the Republican Democrats, Jane Hunt from the Conservative, and Jonathan Ashworth from the Labour. Why do we need an MP? We're going to have an
We need an MP because they're going to represent Leicester on the national scene to actually change policy in the health service, crime, in other areas of the city where the mayors can actually have control. There's also international issues, education issues that are not directly controlled by the mayor, which will be controlled by government, that they can actually influence. So that's why we need an MP. For international issues, for health issues, for schools, and other sort of activities that are more national rather than local.
Assalamu alaikum. We need an MP in Leicester South to fight for Leicester South specifically. So we need somebody to bring in investment into this part of the country from around the country. We need to fight for this constituency within Parliament to get the best out of what's going on at the moment. So 100,000 apprenticeships, for example, have been announced throughout the UK. I want to bring as many of those as I can into Leicester South, and all types of investment and that kind of thing. So I think we do indeed need a separate MP from the mayor. Whether we need a mayor or not is perhaps a question. Thank you.
Thanks.
We need an MP. We need an MP here in Leicester South to fight for jobs. 4,100 people out of work today in Leicester South. That's bigger than Leicester East, bigger than Leicester West. Fighting for the investment that we need there so we've got jobs for the future. We need an MP fighting for the 6,000 young people in Leicester losing their EMA, their education maintenance allowance, when a year ago they were told they were going to keep it. We need an MP fighting against the £9,000 tuition fees when a year ago they were told by the Liberals that tuition fees were going to be abolished. And we need an MP fighting for our pensioners, who are now finding out that they're losing £100 from their steel payment, when a year ago they were told by David Cameron that they'll get to keep that steel payment. That's what we need an MP for. Fighting for jobs, fighting for our young people, fighting against tuition fees, and taking a strong stance on these issues, and fighting for a fair deal for Leicester and the people who live here.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first issue is one of crime, which unfortunately will not be touched. But it's quite sad to relate to you some figures of the national average of the crime statistics in England. If you look at burglary, it's 11% national average. Leicester has 17.4%. Criminal damages, if you look at Leicester, it's got 26%. National average is only 17%. Violence against persons, national average only 16%. Leicester has 32%. It is incredible that Leicester, and particularly Leicester South, has the highest crime rate within the city, and we're one of the above average crime rates nationally. This is a poor indictment by all political parties throughout time. I need something very concrete just to see how you bring about that change. You can start to change this.
Thank you. I'm particularly keen on dealing with antisocial behaviour and crime, and I've talked about this in my pledges and leaflets that you'll see coming through your doors, perhaps even today, but certainly in the next few days. I was also in the Mercury about it, I believe, either yesterday or today. I recently chaired a panel on reducing reoffending, and I'm very, very keen to see what we can do to use the learning that I have gathered whilst chairing that group to see what we can do about reducing reoffending in the city. Yes, absolutely, we do need to fight crime, absolutely, and particularly antisocial behaviour. So if somebody does commit a crime, they do indeed need to be dealt with in order for that to be, for justice to happen. However, what I do not want to see is people being pushed out of prison, for example, after only maybe a few months in prison.
Jane, sorry to interrupt, I won't be doing this for all the three candidates as well.
Yeah.
You say you don't have people pushed out of prison, but we've just, the Home Secretary has just announced
literally no support on that. People are almost inviting people to reoffend on that basis. What I'd like to be able to see is work in partnerships with the police, with charities and with other organisations, religious organisations if possible, throughout Leicester South, to see what we can do to help support people who have offended but do not wish to offend again. There are plenty of people who come out of prison and do not want to offend again, but feel in the end they have to, therefore, down that road. And so what I would like to be able to do is create a support network for them, to create housing opportunities for them, work experience, and a way of actually being able to put them so they don't re-offend again. And that's the way to bring down crime, I think, in this
The
city.
rehabilitation above prison centres. You think prisons do not work like the previous conservative mantra? It says prison punishment is the way out. 1, 2, 3, and you're locked in.
I was very, very lucky to meet Colin Moses last October, who's the head of the Prison Officers Association. And what he said to me was, if you give me a prisoner for 6 months, I can help them, I can do something with them. Forgive me, but the main problem that many prisoners have is that they simply cannot read. And you are trapped then, you are lost in the system if you're not able to read. And therefore that's what I'd like to be able to look at.
I think Jane is right. It's the actual cycle of crime that most people are in. They're either on drugs, they're alcoholics, and they actually go out, commit crime, get locked up, go back out, commit another crime, get locked up. It's a huge cycle. This has not been going on from today, this has been going on for years. But in Leicester South, as you said, we do have a particular problem. And partly it is because we need to report crime as well. A lot of people are apathetic and think, well, the police are not going to do nothing, we're not going to bother reporting the crime, whatever it is, because they think it's so minor. But the number of reports that people make to the police actually indicates hotspots to them. And when they have hotspots, they have to do something about it. And in certain areas of Leicester South in particular, where there is a particular problem, they can target their resources. And that's what we need to do more of.
How are they going to do that, the coalition government, when the number of police forces have been reduced?
Well, I don't know whether, I'm involved in crime stops, been doing that for 15, 16 years. We had, a couple of years ago, 365 arrests in 1 year from calls made to crime stoppers just in Leicestershire alone. That didn't cost us 1 penny. It actually, we actually hand out rewards to people for phoning in. Nobody claimed a reward in Leicestershire at all in that whole year. The idea is actually, let people be the eyes and ears of the police. Let people be reporting for the police. And get officers on the beat instead of red tape, because it's just far too much red tape and paperwork for police officers. And instead of being out on duty, they're sitting in police stations tied up in paperwork. And we aim to reduce paperwork for them.
John.
Okay, well, I think when it comes to rehabilitation, Jane talks a lot of sense. But I've got to say, and I say this with the greatest of regret, we're not going to get those crime figures down here in Leicester when Leicestershire Police Force is getting 200 police officers cut by next year. I took Yvette Cooper, she's our shadow home secretary, to meet some PCSOs and meet some shopkeepers from the south of Maine yesterday. These cuts to the police force we're going to see is causing great concern in the Leicester area. And you know what? It's not just the police officers who are being cut by 200. It's the support staff as well who are being cut by 200. And what does that mean if you've got no support staff? It means the police officers spend less time on the beat and more time back at the head office dealing with the office issues that need to be dealt with. So I've got to say, yes, what you're saying on rehabilitation is absolutely right, and it's refreshing to hear a Conservative politician talking those terms. But actually, if you're going to reduce crime in Leicester, cutting the number of police officers and cutting the number of support staff is not the way to go about it.
How are we going to be able to finance this?
Well, that's a very good question. Because look, here in Leicester, we're seeing huge cuts. Why are the cuts in Leicester less than the cuts in places like Surrey, in Guildford, and Berkshire? Why are we getting hit more? I don't think that's fair. And it comes back to your first question, actually. Why do we need an MP? We need an MP to fight for Leicester's corner, and that's one of the things I'm doing on elected.
Well, I'll stand up. Look, I'm John Ashley. I want to be a strong voice for this constituency. 4,000 people in this constituency are out of work. I want to get more people in work. I want to fight for our young people losing their EMA. I want to fight for our young people facing £9,000 tuition fees. I want to fight for our pensioners getting their winter fuel payment cut. Our families seeing the VAT increase. And let me also reassure you, I now live in this constituency. Not in Harborough or Loughborough, but here in Leicester South. So you'll see me in this constituency. That's not what it's about. It doesn't matter whether you're from Mansfield or Highfield. It matters about what you're going to do. So if you want a strong voice, someone who's going to fight Leicester South's corner, put your trust in me. Give me your support, and I promise I won't let you down. Thank you.
Well, I'm Jane Hunt, and I'd like you to vote Conservative, please. I want to deal with the stagnation that's happened in this city for years and years, and that's the Labour stagnation that's happened across the whole city. Leicester South needs somebody who's prepared to fight for this city, to fight for the people in Leicester South, and to work with them as hard as we can, bringing together partnerships and organisations, from charitable organisations, religious organisations, government groups and everything, to make the best of what we've got in this city. And what have we got in this city that's the best? People. The people of this city are fantastic. I've lived here since 1995. I live in Loughborough. Jonathan's absolutely correct. But I've lived and worked in this area. I've been in charge of regional development for the whole of the East Midlands, including Leicestershire, since 1995, for example, in something I've done work-wise. So what I really want to be able to do is to use and work with the people we've got in this city, the fantastic opportunities we have, the aspirations that we can have for the people of our city, to help them grow in terms of education, in terms of growing businesses and helping new businesses set up. The investment that we can bring in this city is really extremely important, and it's not happening now, and it's not happened for years.
My name is Zufar Ham. I've been campaigning in Leicester for 10 years. All that I've done out of my own time. I'm passionate about changing this city. Why? Because I actually lived in this city for such a long time. Born in Buxton Street. I've not had a degree, never went to university. I'm sorry, but I haven't. But I'm so passionate about fighting for Leicester because it's the people that make Leicester. Brought up in these streets, lived in 3 constituencies, 3 different wards in this constituency. My father first came to Leicester in 1938. My grandfather first visited Leicester in 1919. Leicester is special. It's special to me, it's special to you, that's why we all live here. It's time to change. We've had too long of Labour actually failing us here. The health service, promises of hospitals, promises of improvements. There's now a different government in power. I will fight for people here to make sure we will get our fair share of funding. It's not happened under Labour, but I will make sure that we fight to make sure we get whatever we deserve in Leicester. We've got struggling with the hospitals, we're struggling with schools, we're struggling with crime, and that's not gone on now, that's been going on for 10 or 15 years. So it's time to fight for the people of Leicester South.
Where do I go after I die? How can it be?